Hi, this is Frank Taylor with Nature at Your Door, and this is an on-the-road episode with Nature at Your Door. And I'm here in San Bernardino, Switzerland, high in the Swiss Alps on March 3rd, enjoying a snowy day. Up here they got 1.4 meters of snow last week. That's about 52 inches, and it's snowing now. So it's really, really beautiful. Today's episode is about these magnificent trees you can see behind me and how they're perfectly adapted to the snow and this alpine environment. So stay tuned for today's episode. Right here in your backyard, you never know what you're going to find. So my hike up to see these magnificent trees started at San Bernardino, which is a little village just below the San Bernardino Pass at about 6,000 feet above sea level. These trees are absolutely magnificent, but on the way I had to stop and see my friends at the restaurant at Alpe Pian Doss. Amazing place. This used to be a barn and it was converted into this full service restaurant, and you can still see the cattle troughs on both sides, but you can only get there by hiking up through the snow. It's just a fantastic experience. So I soon finished my cappuccino, put my hat and gloves on, and plunged back out in the snow. Soon I was surrounded again by these magnificent trees. In this part of Switzerland, the Norway Spruce makes up the tree line in these single species stands at around 6,500 feet above sea level. These evergreen spruce trees are in the genus Picea, and this particular spruce is called the Norway Spruce or the European Spruce. Its scientific name is Picea abies. You can ID it from a distance by its characteristic drooping branches. In snowy areas, it's morphologically adapted, like other pine trees, to shed snow by its triangular shape or pyramidal shape. Instead of weighing down on the branches, its branches will shed it off. And the Norway spruce in particular, with its unique drooping branches, really helps shed that snow away and not pile up on branches and break them off as it might do on a deciduous tree. And further helping it in this snowy environment, this is very, very strong wood. Spruce wood is used in construction, and it's adapted to withstand the pressures of all this snow and wind. So it's actually a very strong wood for technically what we would call a softwood. The needles are sharp and spiral around the branch. On a closer look at the needles, you'll see they are distinctly four-sided. You can actually take the needles in between your fingers and roll them through your fingers. If you tried this with fir needles, you would find they're flat and they won't roll. Another characteristic to look for is pull a single needle off, and when you break it off, it comes with a little wooden peg. This is a characteristic of all spruces, and it's called a sterigma. It is one of the most important trees in the Southern Alps. The Swiss Alps cover about 65% of Switzerland, and so many of the villages are clustered in the lower valleys. So forest management in Switzerland is not just for managing for lumber or for habitat for wildlife or for beauty, but it's to protect people as well. Though these trees can't stop a massive avalanche when it's started, they are very important in holding the snowpack on the slopes and preventing massive slides of snow off the side of the mountain. Imagine if all the trees were clear-cut and there are no trees to hold that snowpack from sliding down into the villages. So it's a very unique kind of forest management because it's not just for the forest itself, but it's also for the protection of people. Economically, it is one of the most important forest species in Europe. It's a fast-growing tree, and in the right environment, it can grow from 115 feet to 180 feet tall and 5 feet in diameter. There's a champion tree in Slovenia that could be almost 300 years old, and it's 204 feet tall. A very unique use of this wood, besides in lumber and pulp and paper make, is this is called a tone wood, and it's especially useful and especially desired in making musical instruments for its quality of tone. There's a particular subspecies of the spruce tree that went into making the famous Stradivarius violins. This is one of the most widely planted trees, both inside and outside of its range. And like I said, it's the most important conifer in Europe. Another fascinating side about this tree is that every year in the UK, in London's Trafalgar Square, there's a Christmas tree. And since 1947, it's been a Norway spruce that's been donated to England as a gift, and thanks for supporting Norway during World War II. Its cones and seeds are important food for many wildlife species, and the density of its branches provides special habitat for so many organisms to hide, including owls and hawks. Spruce beer was made from its needles and used as a remedy for scurvy. And still today, tasty teas high in vitamin C can be brewed from its needles. Well, thank you for watching this episode of Nature at Your Door. Remember, if you like what I do on this channel, please subscribe, give me a like, and leave me a comment. I love hearing from my viewers. And remember, I cover all things nature, from frogs, toads, snakes, turtles, the myriapoda, insects, trees, wildflowers, and fungi. I cover all the things you might encounter just outside your door. So thanks again for watching this snowy episode on the road with Nature at Your Door in San Bernardino, Switzerland. It's so peaceful here.